What does cross-dressing swords, opera, and France have in common? Well, just stick around and let's find out! Hey there, ghosting ghouls! Warlock BOO here, and welcome to Lore Dive, where we dive from the deep end of the myths and legend pool and connect them to your favorite TV shows, your favorite video games, and your favorite comics. On this episode, we will dive into the lore of everyone's favorite class, the ruiner of all DM's best laid plans. Today, we talk about the Bard, and how real are bards compared to the real thing? Let's just say they may be closer than you think. So are you ready to take the dive with me? Let's go! So first of all, let's go over for those of you that don't know. Oh, what is a bard? Well, in most games, a bard is a traveling entertainer, usually a musician, but not always, who can usually fight with a sword or a bow and can usually kill people with magic or music. So how exactly could any of these be similar to a real world? Well, first, let's look at what a real world bard is. So bards in the real world were a bit different, yet similar. There's a lot of history here, so I kind of compacted it. They were actually poets and actors who worked for a lord, but also did other jobs such as advisors, yes men, and strangely, bodyguards. They usually did not travel like the game showed them, so what are bards based off of? Well, there are more of traveling minstrel or a traveling musician who plays at bars and tells stories to get paid, so they kind of took the name from one thing in actual legends and history and gave it to something else. So why the name bards in games? Well, it does sound at the end of the day better than a minstrel. A minstrel just sounds too musicy. A bard sounds fantastical. It's different. So does that mean there weren't any people like the ones that drive all DMs mad? Well, depends. There is a person who sounds so far-fetched. You think who's from a movie, or a book, or even a video game. Who is this? Well, her name was Julia Degani. Sorry if I butchered that. And this is her story, and the story of a real bard. Now, Julie was born in 1673 to the father Gaston Dubigny. Not that Gaston, although that would be an awesome Disney sequel. Disney, get on this! He was the secretary and master of horse to King Louis XIV of France. I mean, he trained all the pages in how to act and fight and just do their jobs well. Julie learned right next to them. She could fight with a sword, dance, sing, read, write, and think just as well as any of the men at the time. So already she is unique for the time period. At the young age of 14, she was the mistress to a count, then married another man, ran off with his fencing instructor, and left him traveling France dressed as a man, but never pretending to be one, making money singing opera at bars. Sounds like a true bard now, doesn't it? She soon started a relationship with another woman whose parents did not like that. So they sent her to be a nun. And Julie was like, I ain't having none of that shit. So she took a corpse of a recently dead nun, put it in her lover's room, and started a fire, running away with her lover. That way they would think her dead, but soon they separated and she went back to the road before joining an opera company, becoming famous until one day at a huge party, she came dressed as a man and was seen locking lips with another woman. It was challenged to a duel by not one, but 3 different men, and beat every one of them at once, going back into the party. But soon had to leave because Not being with another woman was illegal. Not dressing as a man was illegal, but because dueling was a big no-no in France at the time. She later came back doing more of the same until she met a noblewoman who became her lover. Now, this woman was different. She was sickly and died fairly shortly after their relationship. Now, what is odd is Julie must have really loved her because she retired, becoming insoluble and joining a nunnery, dying in the year 1707. She was only 33. So she had a very short, exciting life with a very sad ending. But that's the story of the cross-dressing, opera-singing sword fighter who, if you ask me, is a bard we all hear of in every D&D campaign that drives those DMs crazy with annoyance with, "Ooh, I'm going to go seduce them. I want to go fight them. I want to do some crazy shit." And that was Julie there. Now, there is one last big part of a bard that you're probably asking, could a bard kill people with music? Like in most games and campaigns and stuff? Well, maybe. There was an instrument, a strange instrument created by good old Benjamin Franklin, called the glass harmonica, an odd instrument that made strange music considered out of this world and ghostly. Became quite famous, but some people started, well, dying or committing suicide after hearing it. They'd get really depressed and just either kill themselves or die. Even a 5-year-old boy, after hearing the concert, died shortly after. When it was just strange. Does this mean this instrument could kill people? Well, kind of. You see, the instrument itself put off noises in a frequency that our mind couldn't handle. Combined with the otherworldly noise, it would mess with our minds and we wouldn't be sure how it worked. The noise could just mess with the central of your mind and just make you depressed or straight up just die. It's a weird phenomenon, but it did not affect everyone else. And you see, this was created by someone unique, and it doesn't affect its creator either. This was created by good old Benjamin Franklin, and he still considered it on his deathbed to be his favorite invention. Not because it killed people, but it brought him so much joy to listen to. But it was an instrument that could kill. And if you ever want to hear what it sounds like, listen to Spock's song in Star Trek 3, 2. I may be missing the number of it. I don't watch a lot of Star Trek. I'm more of a Star Wars guy. Sorry. Or at least Star Trek Next Generation. I do watch a lot of that. But it was in that. It was Spock's theme. So if you ever want to hear what it sounds like, just look up Spock's theme on YouTube and you'll hear what a glass harmonica sounds like. So were bards real in the end? Well, kind of. And while they really weren't like they were in the games and stories, they certainly were close and almost more unbelievable. But it's quite easy to see how people just like Julie d'Angsten and actual bards, multiple jobs, may have inspired our most annoying class in all of lore. So, what did you think of my dive into the subject? Tell me down below, and if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and click subscribe while you're at it. Until next time, this has been Warlock BOO, hoping to be spoken y'all later. Bye.